So you're a small business owner and you have a product or a service that you want to sell to a customer, right? Well, there's another guy named Thomas Edison who has been credited with well over 1,000 patents in his time and tens of thousands of other ideas. Probably the most famous inventor of all time, or at least here in the States. And I want to tell you a story about one of his inventions that was a complete failure and why that led him to one of his most famous quotes that he will never waste time creating something that somebody doesn't want to buy. And this is what he valued every idea that came through his brain against this one failure before he got going, and why it can be a valuable lesson to you as an entrepreneur. Back in the 1860s, legislation had to vote on a lot of different things. Now, back then, it was very cumbersome and labor intensive to do it. They had to print out ballots, which was not easy to do back then. They had to hand them out to everybody. Everybody had to physically vote on them and then physically walk to the center of the room and cast their vote inside of a ballot box. And then afterwards, all the ballots were tallied and then the vote was cast on whatever law they were trying to pass. So, this is where Edison saw a problem and a solution. He could have an electronic voting device that would extremely speed up this process for everybody. So he invented this product and he patented it. And when he went to present it to the legislature, they totally turned it down, like just flat out said they're not interested. And he was dumbfounded. And really the what they told him was, it would upset the status quo. And what happens in that arena is that when those legislative councils would go down and cast their ballot, they would say whether it was yay or nay that they were voting, and they would posture up and address other members who haven't voted yet. And the people that haven't voted could see how the votes were going, and that might sway them one way or the other. So there was this whole political match going on throughout this process. So it wasn't about just being able to speed it up. They didn't care how long it took. It was just part of the process. Now, fast forward, it was, I think, 30 something years, and eventually there was an electronic ballot, that was tested. It's just Edison was before his time. But that one failure made him to say, I'm never, ever going to waste time on anything that somebody doesn't want. And this is so true in small business. I have hundreds of clients that have, come to me with their small business idea and they've never tested it. And the one thing that I've learned, through 21 years of launching 9 different companies here at this point is it's okay to fail, but fail early and fail small, fail cheap. Test it. I don't care if it's a prototype that you're making. I don't care if it's a software you're developing. I don't care if it's a service you want to sell. Get your minimum viable product and go out there and try to sell it to someone. Bring it in front of who your customer is going to be. Find out where they're hanging out. Ask them questions. See if they would even be interested in it. Try to sell it first before you sink a ton of money into it. You're really going to save yourself from potential larger failure. It's okay to get set back as long as you don't get so far behind that you're not able to quickly pivot and move on and improve your product or service and or relaunch it to the right customer group or whatever the case. You might just be too early in the adoption phase. So, you know, take these words of advice from Thomas Edison and be able to test your ideas first, easy, find your customer, see if it's even a solution that they want. All right. Please like, share, subscribe, stay profitable. We'll catch you on the next one.